Today I'm going to be sharing with you the items that I picked up during Erin Condren's Black Friday sale. Now, all of these items are items that I purchased myself. None of these items were sent to me to review, and I did receive them a few weeks ago, probably right before Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. These are items that I purchased during their Rose Gold Insider sale, which I think it was like on November the 13th. So it took a little while to get to me. And then when it did arrive, I decided holding off on filming it because my husband was home and it was just supposed to be time for spending together. And I had other things going on that were more important than filming this. But I wanted to go ahead and still share it because there are some things that I picked up that I really like. And then there's some things that I picked up that one thing that I got that we thought was going to work well and it isn't. And I'll share that and show you a solution that we came up with. Some of these items were for my daughter. So she's already started using and filling out what she got. So I'm going to do the best I can to show you without sharing her things in her privacy. But I didn't want her to not start using it just so that I could film it empty. But anyway, the day that this is going out, Erin Condren is having their daily deal number 9. They've been having daily deals for the last couple of days. Today is December the 17th that you are watching this, and today's daily deal is buy one, get one 50% off on their notebooks. Now, Erin Condren notebooks are usually the thing that I love buying when they're on sale because, first of all, they're pretty dang expensive when they're not on sale. And when they're buy one, get one half off, that's a really good deal. One of these things I bought is a journal that should be included in this notebook sale. I am pretty sure that every time they have notebook sales, it also includes like their guided journals and things. So I wanted to make sure I got this video up at least in this time, just in case you are wanting to get this journal. You can at least participate in the sale, especially if there's another notebook that you've been wanting to get. I do have some reviews of some other notebooks, so if you want to check that out and kind of see if maybe there's something else that you want to get along with it, like their wellness journal or their self-care notebook, those things actually, I think the exact versions that I've reviewed in the past are no longer an option. However, like the cover is different and I think the inside's still the same, but there actually is a new one, a new wellness journal. Actually, they call it a wellness planner. And it is intriguing because it looks like they added a weekly page in it and it looks like they changed the orientation of the pages a little bit. And I love the cover on that. I'm most likely going to pick that up at some point because I love what it says on that cover. And yeah, they're also supposed to be releasing a couple new A5 notebooks with vegan leather covers. So I'm assuming these are coiled. I haven't seen any photos of it. And by the time I'm recording this, I'm not seeing them on the site. So go ahead and check that out and kind of see. I've been paying attention to their A5 notebook options, which have been very few. I love that size and I've been kind of waiting for a really long time for them to like add more in that size option. And so it's kind of exciting to hear that they are finally expanding on their offerings there. But I am an affiliate, so I'll make sure to leave my affiliate link in the description and I'll list the names of all these products that I share in case you want to pick up any of these things. But let me start with the notebook, which is a journal. And I am going to apologize for the lighting. It is a very cloudy day here in Louisiana, so I have to have my ring light on. And that doesn't do well with these laminate covers. So this says one moment at a time, and it is in a gold foil, and the background is kind of like a pastel color blend situation, and the coil is a gold coil. This is not my favorite cover. I wish that they would give us options on these covers for their journals, kind of like how they give us options for which cover we're going to pick when we buy our life planners, but they don't. And that's kind of unfortunate that they don't have that option because they easily can just make make the inside guts and then just allow us to kind of choose a different cover so that we can actually buy the cover that we want to go along with the notebook. Anyway, that's just my opinion on that. So this is called a line a week journal. And here are some instructions on how to use it. And I did already go through and read through all of this when I received it. And this is very interesting because they do have it advertised as like a 5-year journal, but they have it to where you can use it however you want. So some ideas that they have is that you can use the solid color section to write a summary of the week. You can write in sentences, in phrases, or bullet points. You can write out each day and record a highlight. You can double up on the lines to fit every single day. You can go use the whole page to recap the same week, or you can write like a week per page. You can use like a box for intentions, gratitudes, moments. Like they give you so many different ideas, and when you see the layout, you'll understand what I mean about how it's like flexible and why you are able to kind of make it your own. The only thing though that I don't understand is the fact that this page, it being a 5-year journal, this is the only page you have, and so this is really only for 4 years. So if you do like a 5-year thing, you only have spots for kind of writing a little thing for 4 years and not all 5, which I don't know. I don't understand. So it says the year and then the date you started, how I want to use this journal this year, what I'm looking forward to, a message to my future self. So every year that you use it, you can go ahead and make like a little note. And then they do have dated calendar pages in the front. So you do have some kind of a calendar reference that you can use. And it's got for 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, which is really crazy to see these dates. And then it jumps into what the pages are. So you do have like a perpetual calendar type situation here where you have like a line a day, and it goes for all the days for the month. And it starts in January, even though this is not dated. It is dated in a way because it's telling you this is supposed to be for January. And then you've got these 5 boxes for monthly intentions, and they're color coded in different colors. So this is like a lighter purple, and then a purple, a green, an orange-ish color or red, and a like yellow color. These colors are nice. They're like they actually match these in the background, I think, of the cover. But this is primarily what this journal looks like. You have the 5 shaded boxes again, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 and then 9. So you have 9 like pages like that. And then each little section here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Let's say you were using it for the year. Technically, you won't have more than like 5 weeks in a month. So if you used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you still have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't understand, like if you used it as a 5-year journal and you did like every year and it'll be a different week, like this will be the first, second, third. Wait, let me think. So this is like, let's say this is 2025. You can have 2025 right here across this top. And then it'll be for that week. And then the next year, you would use it here. So it'd be like for 1 week, you can do it like you can write a little brief little recap for the week. And then you look back on it, and this would end up being after 5 years, it would be for that first week of January for 5 years worth. And you, I guess, could pick what day of the week is the day that you decide to journal about the past week. But it isn't like a traditional where it's like you have a day for every single day for 5 years. That's why it's called a line a week. I don't know how well I would like using it that way. I would much rather prefer to use this as like as a line a day journal, because not line a day, but this section would be January 1st and then January 2nd. And I would use this just for like one calendar year because you do have enough where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then if there's a 30, well, January has 31 days. So you'll use this and then you still have like some extra stuff, but those will be dated for those days. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 like extra spaces. I don't know. I guess this would work if you sometimes you journaled and you need a little bit more than one little space right here. To me, I've been doing like a daily journal every day. Well, I haven't done it every single day, but I've been using a horizontal Moxie Life as like my daily journal to write stuff every day a little bit. And the spacing here is about the spacing there. This spacing I've learned is not enough space for me for like one day. Sometimes it is, sometimes I want to do more. So having a little bit more space, you can technically like use up 2 boxes here if you wanted to, and this will be like for the day as opposed to, or you can do a split. You can break it down into like, this was what I want to say about like my personal life, and this is what I want to say about my work life for today. And you don't have enough to do that every day for like the whole month, but some days you might want to do that, some days you might not. So I think you have plenty of space to use it that way if you want to use this like a daily journal. I don't know so much that I would use this as like a yearly journal because I don't know, my brain would have a very hard time with that just because it's not going to be consistent. It's like, when do you start the week? Because every year the first is going to be a different, unless you always do it to where it's like the 1st through the 7th and the 8th through the whatever the number is. You know what I mean? Unless you always are consistent, and it's not always going to be like a Monday through Sunday situation or Sunday through Saturday if you like doing it that way. Anyway, that's just my take on it. And then this also is kind of like you only have one of these per month. So this would need to be something that you would be okay with getting rid, like only using it in one year, but not using it in all the years. Unless you're going to draw some lines in here to make it to where you can use it for all 5 years, if that makes sense. You could use this for like different categories. The different colors could indicate, a different area of life that you might want to write about, but you do have like a recap at the end. So you could do it that way if you wanted to, where you're going to journal about something different. Maybe not necessarily area of life, but let's say this one could be related to gratitudes. This one could be related to joy. This one could be related to wins. This one could be related to finances, like specifically, and then something for work. If you wanted to break it down like in that sort of thing, so that you're almost not journaling about the same thing every day. It's almost like giving yourself prompts, but not quite. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So then it just jumps into the next month. So that's the entire way this is laid out. September, July, June, May, and then the smell. The smell of the paper. After December, I think you do have some you have some more of this like spread where this is the year, and then when you completed it for that one year, you can like journal about it if you wanted to use it like not all the time. This could also be helpful if, let's say, you journal for a little while and then you stop journaling and then you pick it back up the next year. You could ignore these dates at the top and you can just pick up the journal whenever you want to and journal as needed. You could also do it that way. If you wanted to, it would be really easy to just white this out, and it's literally just undated, I guess. Because sometimes people get really good about journaling in January, especially if they're like, I'm going to start journaling this year. And then they journal really well in January, and then February comes and they kind of are burnt out from it. And they put it away for a couple months, and then they want to pick it back up. And then you're like, oh, but this is dated. And then you're wasted pages. You could technically just pick right back up where you left off. Or if it's 6 months later, that way you can actually use all the pages in here and not feel like, oh, I started a journal and then I didn't finish it. So it would be really easy to just, ignore these, and you could ignore these pages altogether if you wanted to. If you didn't want to do a monthly recap and you don't want to use this, you can just like ignore this page or rip it out, whatever you want. But there's no pocket in the back. There are a few like additional year reflections here, and then a page that says what I'm proud of in the back, but that's it. And that's basically the journal. So this is a very interesting product. I would like to see more journals that Erin Condren can come up with, because now that I think about it, I feel like this is like the only one that I've seen from them. Beyond like their self-care notebook or the wellness ones, because the self-care one is almost like a daily journal because I have pages every day. The wellness one is more like logging your food every day. Yeah, I'd like to see more journals from Erin Condren. So that's that one. That's an option. So another thing that I got that I think this is what made my order take so long is because I personalized this. I got these notepads. These are medium size. Let me see. About 8.5 by 6. And I decided to get this in like blank. You can get this lined or you can get it dot grid. I got this blank. Normally I buy their list pads. This is the first time I've picked up their notepad, and I got it personalized with my name and my handle because I want to use this on my desk like this underneath my mouse pad. I did have a undated calendar on here that was basically serving as just a place on my desk, and my daughter wanted to use it, so I ended up giving it to her, and she's got it stuck on her wall and she's using it right now for planning. And I found real quickly that I needed and much preferred to have this over some paper as opposed to just straight on my desk. And I didn't want to get a mouse pad because um I felt like that was a waste, because this, at least it would be dual purpose and I can use it as a notepad to write things down as I need to. I'm gonna put this off to the side until a little bit later when I swatch these, but I want to first show you this and explain. So I got this little pocket planner for my daughter. She wanted it to try out to use as her planner. We had picked her up a planner mid-year, and it was the compact vertical. I didn't do a review or anything on it. And she used it for a little while, and then she didn't use it. And so I ended up selling it on Mercari for really cheap. And when I showed her these, she was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that Erin Condren had these. And she wanted one. So I figured this is like really small. I think what she's been using was just like still too big, and it wasn't portable enough, and like her backpack's already heavy enough as it is. It comes with this pen. It's like a felt tip, and it's a gray color. Off the camera. Very fine point, which you're gonna need because these lines in here are really narrow spacing. Let me see. It's like 4 millimeter spacing. So it's really tiny, which means you have to use a very fine point. This is probably a 0.4. Let me see. and it writes almost like a pencil. Like it's so like the color of it, it looks gray, kind of like a pencil. She actually doesn't like this. She is going to be using instead a Pentel Energel 0.4, and that's like small enough too. And I think it's because it's more bold of a pen, it's easier to see than this. Not that there's anything wrong necessarily with this one, it just, she would prefer to use that instead. This tucks nicely in here. The Pentel Energel is not going to tuck nicely in there. She tried it and it doesn't fit. She probably could just stick, I don't know if you can see the hole. You can just, she could probably stick the little what is that called, the pen clip onto the outside, and that would work pretty well to like hold it together so that she always has the pen with the planner, but it's fine. So these little pocket planners, if you've never seen them, I covered up her name. The month in here, I gotta go to February because she already planned January. It has a little ribbon, which is barely enough to kind of go through. So you're probably going to not want to go all the way to the end. You're going to need to do like that sort of thing. If you're somebody who likes to go all the way to the end with your ribbons, that might annoy you. But these boxes are super tiny. Let me give you measurements because I haven't seen anybody give measurements. They are, hang on, dang, they're 2 centimeters. About 2 centimeters. Actually almost looks like a millimeter short, but let's just say it's 2 centimeters, which that's not even an inch. It's like 3/4 of an inch. So they're very narrow. I mean, yeah, very small boxes. They're almost a little taller. They are a little taller. They're like 2 millimeters taller than wide. So those are very small. And they do have the little holiday, I mean, they have the holidays very light grade on there. And you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks showing on here, kind of like in their little petite planners where they have the calendars. So after the weeks, and Saturday and Sunday do share like a space here. So this is best, I think, for someone who works or is in school because you don't really need much Saturday and Sunday space. And I say that meaning like you're using it for the purpose of keeping track of all the things related to school, assignments, and work related things, and you don't do those things on the weekend. If you need this for like an everyday planner for like all the to-dos in your house, that might not work because a lot of people need a lot more space on the weekends because that's usually when you have to do the most things related to like errands and chores and stuff. But after the weeks, you do have a like spread with line notes, and then it jumps into the next month. So you can use this either as like an end of the month like place to keep notes. Actually, you could use this page for the end of the month, and then this page could be for the next month. You can actually write goals in here for the whole, for the upcoming month if you wanted to. I think there might be a page in the front before it. Okay, so the page right before it, you only have one line. So you would have to, if you're going to do like goals, you would have to only squeeze it into this side and for January. But before that, you do have some calendar pages, and then it's just like the front page. So you do have a spread for 2025 and 2026 and some space to write some notes here. So the back, I think there's a couple, yeah, there's several pages in the back. After the year's over, you have several pages. So let's see, 1, 6, 7. So 7, like I'm counting 7 pages, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 actual pages. And this one's like kind of glued to because the end paper. But a lot of space in here. So if you have really big handwriting though, this might bother you because you have to write tiny, you have to have the right pen. I cannot stress enough, like the pen is going to matter. If you have bigger handwriting and you're using like a 0.5 or 0.7, this is definitely not going to work. I learned a long time ago how if you're writing in a smaller planner, you absolutely need to have a smaller pen tip. Just I don't care what you say. It's going to look neater and cleaner because of the fact that it's in a smaller space. So you would just have to be okay with writing in a smaller space, and you need to be okay with using a smaller tip, which, it's helpful that this already came with it. We picked this up though, thinking that this would fit nicely in here in addition to the highlighters, because she wanted this set of highlighters. And I'll swatch these in a little bit, but this is the new premium Planny pack, and it comes in this color right now, and then another one that's more blush. This one's the more like lilac one. I think it might be called lilac. The other one had asterisks all over it, so my daughter didn't want that one. I do appreciate that they made it to where this is the same color as this. That's not always the case with their little Planny packs. Sometimes this is like a completely different color, which kind of bothers me, but I like that it's all the same. It has gold zipper, and there are some things in here that I put in here to test out, like figuring out what's going to fit, and these are not things that I bought with my order, but just I'm warning you that that's not what's in here. So what I found is that it'll fit up to 6. There's 6 slots. So these are the other pack. It comes like in a thing like this too. So these colors are the canvas colors, and then this is the bold blooms colors. I put a pocket, I guess you can call these pocket cards. I guess this is a size like 4x6, about 4x6. And I just stuck it back there because it would be like decoration, but that way you can kind of see. If I push it all the way down, you still have a little, so you can put something even a little taller. But I put that in there. If you were somebody who wanted to kind of decorate a little bit, you could do that kind of thing, but you're not going to be able to fit too many papers under here on this slot. Let me move this out of the way so I can show you. And I will say, I don't know if you noticed, but the way that they were in, I had all the these turned this way, because if you had it like this, when you went to close it, it made it like bulkier. So that would be something to note, is that you're gonna have to turn these things to the side if you got this. And this is the item that I was not happy with, because I thought we could easily like stick this into this little mesh pocket, because look at it, it looks like it would fit good in there. And let me take this stuff out. These are just the Planner Kate sampler size freebies. I did post on Instagram so you can see kind of like what fits in here. These are Planner Kate sheets. I guess these are 8x5. No, they're like 7.5 by almost 4.5 sheets. So you have that. If you have those size little sheets, those will fit great in here. And honestly, the only thing that this is for stickers, it would be the only reason to get this Planny pack over any of the other Planny packs they have, because this is the first Planny pack they've made that's actually like it's not, there's no hard in here, but it's got a structure to it. It's squishy, it's soft. I mean, you could like bend it if you needed to, but it's more rigid. So it's going to protect the sticker sheets much better than any of the other options. So if you're needing something that's going to hold some planners, planner stickers, or some papers that you don't want to get bent up, which nobody wants their stickers to get bent up, this would work well for that. But if you're wanting something just for pens, do not get this. If you're wanting it for, maybe you could stick this in here, because that's what I was thinking would work. This does not come out enough, and I'm really trying to shove this in here, and it is really, it's not working, guys. It is not. I have seen some affiliates try and stick this in here, and they have done it. I'm not going to try and do it. I don't know how they did it, and it's almost looking like when you do it, it's going to stretch out this mesh. So this mesh pocket is not meant to expand very much. I did think, okay, well, if it's not going to fit there, then maybe it could sit right here. And then instead she could put her things in here. Obviously she wouldn't put it in there like that. She would do like this. But then you need to, again, make sure all those things are turned. And then it just becomes, look, it's too fat. It'll close. It'll do it. It's just, it's too bulky. And I don't think that's a good idea. And then if you do it this way, where you've got all of them in here, and let's say you just tried to stick the pocket planner on the other side. If you try and just stick it like this, or just sit it in there like that so that it can all be together. First of all, you gotta be careful with this ribbon. It doesn't get caught in the zipper. It feels actually even bulkier that way. So I do not recommend it for that. And then it becomes like this pocket here becomes way too tight. You almost can't use that to stick things in and out of. So I don't recommend it for this purpose. Not for this. And if you just want to carry some pens around, and if you just want to carry some pens or highlighters and some stickers, then yes, you can put a couple of sticker sheets. This is too big to go in there, but you could use it for that. But the sticker sheets would have to be small enough, and it's not that bad. So I do not recommend this unless you're doing it for that specific purpose. I do think instead what's going to work is this. Here's her pen that I was telling you. It's a 0.4 Intergel. And hold on, let me try this real quick. Yeah, if she did it's secure. She could do that if she wanted to. But so this is their previous Planny pack version. And this is the one that zips around. This one is actually one that I was gifted. I got two of these because when I got this collaboration box to review, I also won the exact same collaboration box. So I ended up with like duplicate items. So this one is from that. So I told her, like, hey, you can just put your markers in here. Then you can just stick your pocket planner down here. Not in the little pocket, although you this other short pocket. I mean, you could, but it's not going to fit. You could try to, but then you put it in there like that and then just zip it up. And this feels way more compact and light than this whole contraption thing. So, and then you still have the ability to use this because this outside pocket, it's like a vegan leather type situation. The inside feels very soft. It still comes out. So you could still stick things in this outside pocket if you need to. It's more functional for this purpose. So if she wanted to do stickers, which she's not, the stickers would definitely get messed up if she tried to add it in here, unless she stuck them in her planner and they were small enough to like stick the sheet into the thing, which these size would be fine. You could stick it in there and protect it. But anything bigger than that, like this will not. This could fit on the outside. Kind of. I'd be afraid that these stickers would start peeling out. But that's the solution. So if you wanted to do something with the pocket planner in something to protect it or to keep your things together, this is what I would do, not this thing. This thing, I think, would only benefit somebody who uses a lot of stickers. And the problem they've been having is that they need to keep their stickers with their markers and also like be able to connect that and strap that onto the planner. Let me show you what it looks like strapped onto the notebook. This one's an A5, but it'll also go on a 7x9. So it's definitely got plenty of stretch in it. So you can keep it all together. And this actually looks coordinated because this is a gold and this is gold. Yeah. So that's my take on that. This actually smelled kind of bad, like chemically smelly when I opened it. It doesn't smell anymore because it's been aired out already for a few weeks. So if the smell bothers you, just know it'll eventually go away. But I do want to warn you, some people are like really, I'm sensitive to smells and I appreciate it when people warn me ahead of time that something is going to smell. So I'm letting you know this is going to smell toxic when you open it and it'll eventually air out. Let me move some stuff so that I can show you my favorite thing. I'll swatch these also. Where'd the, oh, here we go. I'll swatch these canvas markers for you so you can see what these are if you haven't already. So these have a highlighter tip and then it has a writing tip, and this is like the powder blue color. I really like the feel of the body on these, and I appreciate that I'm hearing, I haven't bought them yet, the new dual tip markers that they've brought back finally with a normal tip, like a bullet tip and then like a fine tip. Those have the same body as these and I like them. I like these feel not as cheap plastic as previous versions. So I like that they have kept this body and I like that they are adding the, I don't know why this one is writing a little bit more fine. What color is this? Light gray. And I'm just like, I am not even caring, you guys. I am like just writing these. This, if I was trying to go fast, I'm not trying to be perfect here. If that one's light gray, what is this one? Oh, harbor. Okay. This one, sand. I will say, I think it's funny. Okay, if you're using it, I was about to say you're right-handed. If you're right-handed and you're using the bullet tip, okay, it's showing you the right way, like which it is. I was about to say for a minute I thought it was the other way. I'm guessing most people are not going to use this tip as much. I don't know, maybe. That was just a decision. You have to decide which way. So if you're left-handed and you're always using the chisel tip, it's going to be upside down for you. That thought just entered my mind. I couldn't make these executive design decisions. Ooh, this is a pretty pink. It's actually almost the same color as that. What's this called? Rose pink. Oops, that's not how you spell pink. P-I-N-K. I almost wrote prink. Yeah, that color looks almost like this one. So close. Pretty. That was the first time I've swatched those. I obviously like this color. This looks very similar to one of the mild liner shades that I like. And then this one's pretty. They're all pretty. I wish this spruce was just a little bit more, it feels like a gray green, but very pretty. All right, let's show you these last ones. And these are my favorite, and it's not the stamping part that's my favorite. It's the writing tip that's my favorite. That's the really only reason why I got it, because they're all black writing tips. And I'm going to use the back to show you. But when Erin Condren had one of their advents, was it their advent? No. It was like a teacher gift set. I received one, and it was like part of a collab. I received one. And in that there was 2 pens that looked exactly like this, like the body, and on one side was like some kind of stamp, and on the other side was the black tip. And I loved the heck out of those black tips. I used them until they dried up. And what I loved them on are not the Erin Condren paper that you find in their like coiled books. They're good quality coil books, I should say, because they have some A5 notebooks that are not the same Erin Condren Life Planner paper. So, not those, but anything that's like a smoother one. So, these notepads qualify, and then their softbound planner or pocket planner, this paper, and their petite notebooks. So, right now I have the holiday planner that I'm using to write down memories and things for the 2024 season. And I am using these black tips on that paper because it just writes so nice and it just glides, and it's just like my favorite pen on that Erin Condren paper. Anything for the petite notebooks paper. These black tips. Actually, writing on this feels less satisfying than writing on but it's all the same. And so the other side of these, I'll show you the other side. These are like check boxes, and they're supposed to be glittery. I will say any of their stamps are not the best, and these are very inky. So, oh, that one didn't do well. What color is this one? Apricot. I guess I can write the color next to it. Can you tell I don't do this very often? And this was apricot. Polar. Oh. Oh, that was a lot. Yeah, these. Oop. Polar. What happened to this one? This tip looks. Let me show you. Or is it just me? No, it's just me. It looked like the tip had got like smushed in a little bit more than normal. The one gripe I have about these is that I can't do this. I can't stick the cap back on the back when I'm using it. So I have to just take it off, and I set it down on the desk or hold it in my hand while I'm writing. I just wish that wasn't a thing. This one is Lagoon. Whoa, that looks really dark. I'll hold it closer to the camera when I'm done so you can see. Whoa, that was a bubble. What does it say? Indigo and berry. I think the berry one's probably my favorite. Oop, I just wanted to see what would happen if I did like that kind of thing. Not really works that way. Does not really work that way. It's more of a, you need a stamp. Berry. Oh, and I definitely can see the shine on the glitter on that ink on the berry. I'm not sure if the camera is going to show it or not, but in person you can see the little bit of glitter on these colors. And I wouldn't say anything bled through, but there's definitely a little bit of ghosting on this notepad. It might not be an issue on actual life planner paper, but like I said, I bought these because of the black tips. So I am going to be using the black tips on these. I probably will never use the other side. I wish they made just black tips of this exact like type felt pen, because this is like my favorite for the petite planners to write on. My favorite. Okay, and I do want to mention taking this out of this packaging was such a butt. I seen other affiliates receive this and they didn't say anything about the packaging. And I'm just warning you now, please do not cut yourself by accident. I did not cut myself, but the way that they've got this hooked in here, when I started today, it was already out because I left it like that out so that I wouldn't hurt myself. But the way this is in there, the style of this going in there, it was impossible practically to take open. I wished they would have just used like the same kind of packaging. It's literally the same size box, and for whatever reason they decided to package it like this instead of putting it in one of these, which this makes it so easy. It's just so much easier to open. Like, why? Again, I hate to be the person making the design decisions at Erin Condren, but this needs to change. This cannot happen anymore. This little, I don't know what other products they are selling that might have this exact same packaging, but they need to not do this anymore because that was a hazard. That's, I'm just going to say that about that. But you've been warned. So if you buy these, I'm warning you now. Please be very careful opening it. Even the bottom is the exact same. I was about to say maybe open from the bottom, but it's the exact same little thing. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful in helping you decide whether to buy something or not to buy something. Hopefully this video is going to save you a little bit of headache. So anyway, if you want to see more videos like this where I share tools and tips to help you on your self-care journey, I know that like stationery itself is not necessarily self-care, but planning to me is self-care, journaling is self-care, setting goals is like self-care, those kinds of things. If you want to see more stuff like that, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.